Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 1990 Awards Banquet, our silver anniversary, past, present, and future. Tonight, we honor our award winners from the 1989 Unlimited Hydroplane season. A season that saw millions attend our 10-race circuit with multi-millions more viewing our events on television. 7 races were aired on ESPN, with 3 airings of each race, a minimum total of 21 one-hour programs were viewed on the sports network. 3 of our races were syndicated by IPI Sports and covered over 65% of the country. The HFC American Hydroplane Series began Sunday, May 21st. The Exxon Blastoff, Clear Lake, Texas, outside of Houston. Jim Cropfield came back after a season layoff due to injury to drive Bernie Little's Miss Budweiser to victory. 2 weeks later, June 4th, Miami, Florida, the Unlimiteds gathered at Miami's Marine Stadium on Key Biscayne for the Budweiser Regatta. Scott Pierce in Jiff Presents Mr. Pringles came back after his Miami accident a year earlier to survive the mile and 2/3 saltwater course and win the season's second race for owner Bill Wooster. The next stop on the tour, 1 week later, the Motor City of Detroit. The Spirit of Detroit Budweiser Thunderboat Championships '89, where the largest crowd of the year, 685,000 fans gathered on the banks of the Detroit River to see the Unlimiteds in action. And action was just what they got. Scott Pierce and Mr. Pringles, leading in a preliminary heat, came down into corner number 3 and became airborne. The boat hit upside down, then flopped right side up. Pierce suffered a chip bone in his right ankle. In the final heat, Jim Cropfield, leading by 7 boat lengths, flew the Miss Budweiser down in turn number 1 at the Belle Isle Bridge on the very first lap. Thanks again to the canopies, the driver was not injured except for his pride. Chip Hanauer in the Circus once again overcame the Detroit River. He survived the 2.5-mile course to win the event. 3 races, 3 different winners. Next stop, Sunday, July 2nd, the Ohio River, Madison, Indiana, for the Budweiser Indiana Governor's Cup race. This race produced the first repeat winner of the year, as Jim Cropfield drove the Miss Budweiser to victory for the second time in 4 races of 1989. The Budweiser crew, led by Ronnie Brown, did a fine job of repairing the boat from the Detroit accident. 1 week later, Sunday, July 9th, again the Ohio River, but this time at Evansville, Indiana, for the Budweiser Thunder on the Ohio Regatta. This race gave the Winston Eagle their first unlimited hydroplane victory, as driver Larry Lauterbach won the checkered flag for owner Steve Woomer. Thus, the sport had 4 different winners in the first 5 races, the halfway point of the season. The final stop on the eastern half of the HFC American Hydroplane Series, the Pringles Family Thunderboat Classic at Syracuse, New York, saw Tom Deeth return to the seat of Miss Budweiser, and an action-packed day followed on Onondaga Lake. The host boat, Mr. Pringles, rolled in corner number 1 in a preliminary heat. Driver Scott Pierce was upset, but walked away unhurt. Then Tom Deeth in Miss Budweiser and Chip Hanauer in the Circus teamed up to provide the fans with the fastest competitive heat ever staged in unlimited hydroplane history. They both averaged over 150 miles an hour for the entire heat, with Miss Budweiser winning, but just barely. In the finals, leading by nearly a straightaway on the first lap, the Flying Bug bit the Circus at the end of the back chute. Hanauer sustained a few bruises, but the boat was badly damaged and out of action. Tom Deeth and Miss Budweiser went on to victory, the team's 3rd win, the first for Deeth. 2 weeks later, the first stop on the western swing, the Budweiser Columbia Cup, Tri-Cities, Washington. In this one, Scott Pierce and the Mr. Pringles team continued to have their problems, as the boat went airborne off of corner number 4 while leading in a preliminary heat and was through for the day. Again, the driver, thanks to the enclosed cockpit, walked away. In the finals, Miss Budweiser was penalized an extra lap for cutting off the Miss Mazda. That provided the hard-charging Mitch Evans and the Cooper's Express team with their biggest thrill ever, their first unlimited hydroplane victory. Ed Cooper Sr. and Sud Ed Jr. were, to say the least, elated, and it was fun to participate in their victory. The following week, Seattle, Washington, the Rainier Cup, Lake Washington, saw Chip Hanauer and the Circus rebound from their previous race problems and take the checkered flag for the second time in '89. It's always nice to win in front of the hometown fans. The APBA Budweiser Gold Cup was held after a 6-week layoff. The site, Mission Bay, San Diego, California, race number 9, with 5 different winners on record and 2 races to go. Here, Tommy D, driving Miss Budweiser, won his first Gold Cup since 1976 and the first Gold Cup for the Budweiser team since 1981. One more lap and it would have been a different story, since both the Budweiser and Oh Boy Alberto were running out of gas and just managed to finish. The Deeth victory snapped Chip Hanauer's Gold Cup winning streak at a record 7 straight. The final race of the year, the Budweiser Las Vegas Silver Cup, Lake Mead, outside of the fun city of Las Vegas, Nevada, saw 2 HFC World Champions crowned. When Chip Hanauer won his first preliminary heat of the day in the Circus, he wrapped up his 4th World Drivers title and his first since 1985. Tom Deeth, by taking second in the same heat, mathematically provided the Budweiser racing team with their 4th consecutive Team World Championship, a feat accomplished for the first time in the history of unlimited hydroplane racing. The hometown boat, Miss Circus, won the event with a perfect day. It was their 3rd victory in the 10-race season, and the season came to a successful close. Next season, 1990, there are 12 races on the calendar, beginning in Miami June 3rd and ending in Honolulu, Hawaii on the 11th of November, with new stops at Kansas City and Milwaukee. More races, more fans, more TV exposure awaits the 1990 version of the HFC American Hydroplane Series.